members to join us.
Hey, Alexa, power off.
Mr. Jones and Lewis with us. Let me see, double check on my firefighters. If it's only going to be you and Lewis, I'm going to forego the icebreaker. Just go get right into the business. But we've got a couple more minutes. How's it going, Lewis? If anybody's in the waiting room. Look at Coach Lewis ready to go into them championship games this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch on our basketball season in a little bit. It's been fun to watch, though. Give it another 2 minutes, and then we'll just kick it.
Yeah, I'm out at 4:55 because I got to jump on a Sister Cities meeting.
You do those virtually too?
Yep.
You were in the office yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah.
Maniac.
I went in, and then there's a young kid who's an intern. He was there. He didn't know.
Oh, I feel so
And
bad.
it took him an hour to get in. I'm like, Avery, what are you doing here?
Wow. Yeah, it was one of those rare moments in the city, right?
Yep. How many pages did you print? It's all this library stuff. Let me stop it.
Yes.
Let me stop.
All right, it's 4:35. I'm gonna start the meeting. We're gonna forego the icebreaker. Oh wait, somebody else is joining. Give me 1 second. All right, Jen. Hi, Jen. So Jen is here. It's only a few of us, so. Oh, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I got somebody jumping in. Let me get my door. Sorry about that. Forget this.
Sorry, my phone wasn't letting me on the Google Meet.
Don't worry, I got Coach Miles with me over here.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Who's John Jukebox?
That's the public.
Ah, are there?
Um,
Do they need to also identify themselves?
No, they've been kind of joining other meetings sporadically and then posting it online. All right, we're gonna jump into it now that it's 4:36. Again, there's only a few of us here, so I'm gonna kind of forego the icebreaker for this meeting. Kind of jump into the news, and so we're gonna start off with some old business. We are wrapping up our basketball season. The final games will be this weekend. We are going through the championship rounds. We have 4 games set up, starting at 9 a.m. All kids will be playing at the main court at the middle school, so we won't using the back court at all. All the games will happen on that main court, so everybody can see, be highlighted right in the big gym there, and we can get all the spectators on that one side watching the game. We'll have the refs, the officials, everybody taking the book. I think it went really, really well this season. I've seen the kids' growth as players, from our smallest ones to our oldest ones. I've also been able to help out a little bit with the book and scorekeeping, and we've also been able to train people on how to do the books and scorekeeping, which was kind of fun too. Kind of an offshoot, like a fortunate happenstance with the volunteers and stuff like that. Some of them didn't realize how to do the book, so we were able to teach them how to do the scorebook and the scorecard too. So there's always some teachable moments out there.
That's cool.
The playoffs just happened this past weekend. Very exciting games, very close games, some surprises at the end. So we're looking very much forward to the championship rounds this weekend and wrapping up our season with basketball, which I think was very successful. We have some recreation center updates. We did have a walkthrough a couple weeks ago, taking a look at everything floor to ceiling in the building with Brandon Goldberg from the administrator's office, Keith Jones from the department, our department director, and some of the staff walking around, making sure that we're looking at everything. So we look forward to that assessment and making some changes to the center, including getting rid of some of the old furniture that was here. So it opened up the space a lot more, especially in our teen center section, which is our game room side. I think it looks a lot, spacious, cleaner.
Yeah.
But we will, also upgrade some of the other furniture in the building, as far and the equipment that we're using. The Trust for Public Land had reached out to those who were in the initial meeting a couple weeks ago, asking for input on other people to include in future meetings. So I was able to share some members of the committee. So they might reach out to you guys individually, ask you guys to join. And also there'll be opportunity to do public opinions as to where the next 10-year plan for our parks and recreation departments go. It was a very good initial meeting that we had. I want to say in January, I believe it was. Might have been December. It could have been January. But things are moving forward for their next 10-year plan. So they will be reaching out to members of the committee that were identified and other members of the community, such as Arts New Brunswick, the Civic League, the Board of Education, and other stakeholders for the city and community partners to make sure that they get a robust view and input from the community. Does anyone have any questions on any of those items yet? All right, cool. For new business, we are set to have our spring open house on March 19th. That will be here at the center, where we will open it up to the community for people to view the center, meet the staff. We plan on trying to have some of our classes in the dance studio. The last time we had an open house, we did a boot camp in there, worked out some kids and some family, worked out kids and a couple adults in the boot camp. This year I'm thinking about either asking our yoga instructor or our step aerobics instructor to see if they would be willing to join us and do some classes for the event. But we look forward to the open house. We're going to try to do them quarterly, every few months or so, every 3 or 4 months, trying to do a open house. Invite the community in, look at, walk through the center, see what we're offering, meet the team, and engage with even our students if they can. The last one, we had a lot of new students actually registered during the last one. So hopefully that the same thing happens after this one. We'll get another wave of new students signing up. But we are easily doing a couple registrations a day here now, of adding new students. The Easter egg hunt will be on March 28th at the at the lawn in front of the Bugalo Mansion. That's shaping up to be a pretty unique event this year. So you'll get more information for both those events as we move forward in the planning process. But March 28th is the Easter egg hunt, and the open house was March 19th. We will be sending out a request for volunteers to help probably with the March 28th event, especially the Easter egg hunt. So if you know of groups of people that need to volunteer or would like to volunteer, or if you yourself would like to volunteer, just reach out to us here at the center. In years past, we've been able to use some Rutgers sororities and fraternities to help out. We always have our student volunteers from the high school. But if you have any other agencies that you work with or associated with that would like to volunteer, please reach out. Um, More hands make less work, so we're always looking to have more people work with us. Speaking of volunteers, we're looking for volunteers currently for our baseball season. And that volunteers can be people that coach, people that help us keep scorebooks, people that help us with the clocks. I mean, with the scoreboard, as they will be getting replaced. And we're going to probably need people to help us with the concession stand as well as we open that up. So we're looking for volunteers. There is an application process. We do ask that volunteers take the Rutgers Safety Clinic if they're going to coach for us. But we will always, so if you're interested in volunteering, again, if you know of anybody that would like to volunteer, um, hopefully, Lewis, we can use you again to volunteer for baseball as you've done in the past.
Yes.
And you've coached for us pretty much every season that you've had your children in our program. So we're very thankful for that. So please forward that to information to anyone. On our Instagram, there's always a post, every couple of days about needing volunteers. Hold on one second. About needing volunteers and wanting volunteers. So if you need, I can share the volunteer document, the digital document with the group, and that way, if you guys want to share it on your pages and things like that, that would be very helpful to help us get that outreach out, going.
That's actually pinned on the Instagram page and the link tree for our New Brunswick Recreation link tree. And then we also have the volunteer application on there as well, a PDF file that's downloadable.
Thank you, Coach Miles.
You're welcome.
You know what I'm thinking, Ivan? I was thinking that if there's high school students that may want to go into maybe sports medicine or even anything like OT, right? I'm thinking if we could start maybe some type of internship where if they volunteer.
Yeah, I'm not against that at all. Let me try to see how that works out. You know what I mean? How that plans out. But I like that
Yeah.
idea. I like the idea of engaging our younger athletes with our older athletes. We try to keep especially with baseball, we try to always keep like the high school and softball team, high school baseball and softball teams around our students. See, they're doing clinics. They're always part of our opening day. And speaking of which, we will be setting up meetings for our opening day. So we might tap into a couple of you to help us program opening day. But I like that idea. I like the idea of trying, and that could go much further than just baseball. You know what I mean? We can use that for all our sports programs because we have a lot of
Yeah.
students.
And you could alternate the seasons, right? Because it'll
Yep.
be kind of hard for athletes to be volunteering when they are
In season.
Yep,
and when
absolutely.
they're in season, but maybe we can alternate some of that stuff.
Yep, I like that idea. So,
Yeah.
so what I'll do is I'll take the idea and I'll start getting to speaking to our supervisors and see how we can kind of dole out a real program with it, not just having kids out there volunteering. You know what I mean? So real quick for baseball updates, we have, I just had the number, sorry. It's 71 registered right now. I can have that breakdown for you real fast. 71 currently registered. That is 8 in the kindergarten level, 21 first and second graders. We have 22 third and fourth graders. We have 13 fifth and sixth graders and seventh and eighth graders. So there's still plenty of spots available. We're going through the registration process now. There's still time for people to register. And again, we are going to waitlist any non-residents, and then to make sure that we have as many open slots for city children. And then as we get closer to that, we'll start using that wait list if we need to fill in spots and things like that. But we're excited for this year for baseball. I mentioned that there will be some work being done at the youth sports complex as far as upgrading the scoreboards and lights and things like that, so that we can make sure that we're using those throughout the summer, the spring and summer. So I'm very excited for baseball this year. Does anyone have any questions about any of the events so far? Spring open house, the Easter egg, the volunteers for baseball, and the baseball updates. Currently, we have some personnel vacancies still. We are looking to fill in 2 permanent part-time positions and 2 seasonal part-time positions. So if you know of anybody that's willing, who would like to apply, seasonal positions run about 6 to 8 weeks, where the permanent part-time is year long. So if you know of anybody that's interested, please send them our way. We've had some personnel changes. We also have a promotion within. So we promoted Anna Pelias to the recreation leader position that was vacant. So that opened up a vacancy in her permanent part-time positions. That's where the second one comes from. Though I will say that Anna was a little nervous at first with jumping into this new role. She has done a phenomenal job just diving in and acclimating herself, asking great questions every day. Also, suggestions that she has been making has been phenomenal. I'm a big fan of the things that she's come up with, and her work ethic. She's got a great work ethic, and she fits the team very well. She's been here for a few years. So Anna's some of you might know her as Coach Anna. She did soccer for a while. I think she might have helped the baseball a couple of times as well. But Anna's part of the full-time team now, and she's doing a great job helping us out at the front desk, especially. Brief REK update. We had an event on February 11th. We had 95 students that day, which also shows the difference between the last event, which had about 50 students, that soccer really matters to the students at the middle school. So whenever we have soccer, we close to 100 or usually sometimes over 100 now. So the one time we didn't have it, we did have a dramatic drop in attendance, but just, this is part of what we're doing, is trying to find out what activities the kids will gravitate towards, and use that to help recruit them into the recreation center. So we're currently still on schedule to have the next event on March 25th. We have not decided just yet what events will be happening, but soccer will be one of those events, just to make sure that we get as many kids in the after school program as we can. We've expanded some of our partnerships, inviting agencies like the Civic League in to help out, and they were fantastic to work with at the last event. Miles, do you have any updates from the last event?
No, just the inclusion that soccer is very important. When we have soccer on the flyer, we get a lot more kids. What we did differently this time was we bought teen center applications to the actual event. We had maybe 3 or 4 kids actually fill it out that day. They need additional documents to actually become members, and 3 out of the 4 bought them within that next couple of days after the event and became members. So that's the goal, is to try to get the kids to sign up and be recreation center members, or even participate in recreation sports.
Perfect. The past couple of weeks, we've had some trainings for the recreation staff. Anna had to do some onboarding trainings as a new full-time staff member. Several of us, actually all of us, took the active shooter training last week, which was offered by the city's insurer. We have an AED CPR training coming up next week for several city staff, including us, that we're going to stagger throughout the week. And we're also looking at a future concussion protocol training for not just us here, but for our coaches. We want to make sure that they have that training as well. We're going to try our best to make sure that um, trainings like that affect actual watching the students and gameplay, things like that we are including our coaches in these trainings. Um, so you'll hear a little bit more about that as we go through our training process. I think several weeks ago we did a bloodborne pathogens one too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Um, so this is just kind of part of par for the course. So a lot of city departments are going through a gamut of trainings. Recreation just happens to fall in some of those trainings. Um, they are lengthy. Some of them are, a couple hours or longer, but they're good information that we've been able to receive. Before I get into questions, I just remind everyone that the next meeting is on sorry, my typo in the agenda is on March 31st of next month. That'll be the next meeting. As always, usually about a week beforehand, I will remind everyone that we have the meeting as well as send out agendas and information. If you have any idea or anything that you would like to include on the agenda, please share that with me. Or if there's anything that you guys want to speak about, please share that with me. Even if you have a icebreaker type question that we can lead with one day, please share that with us here too. Does anyone from the committee have any questions?
I got a question. I was muted before. So when you're registering the kids, how are we doing compared to last year? I think you said you had 71 this year right now. How does that compare to last year's numbers?
Remember last year's target?
Last year in baseball, we had about around 130. I'm trying to get to like at least 160, 170, where we can get 3 to 4 teams within each grade division. Because what happens is we get a lot for the younger kids, and then when they get to 7th and 8th grade, we struggle getting them signed up. Mostly that comes from the kids that age either participate in school or they participate in like outside of recreation.
Gotcha.
So that's
Thank
like the only struggle. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, and remember, so sometimes for some of our more athletic kids, recreation level isn't competitive enough because we don't focus on the competition side of things. It's inherent in what we do. We have games for the spirit of what we're doing, but recreation level is more of instruction. Making sure that they get down to basics. As Miles like to say, we're coaching for the kid that can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
I don't say that out loud.
But I say that because I've seen the benefits of my own child.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But at this level, my children participated in my child participated in basketball for the first time in his life, and is from the time he started to now has done a fantastic job of turning around and becoming a great defensive player. So it's been amazing to watch happen. It's been amazing to see. So because we focus so much on for baseball, we call small ball, right? You focus so much on just the basics, drilling those basics, so that by the time they get to that 6th, 7th, 8th grade, that middle school, high school age,
they can make the team.
Yep, they haven't touched. It isn't the first time they've ever touched the ball. They have a shot at making the team, and they have some skills behind them, on top of probably playing with or against some of the kids that are trying out as well. Kids that are very good at a sport are always going to be noticed. Whether at recreation level, whether at AAU level, whether at high school level, somebody's going to notice that kid and be like, all right, come join this private organization. Come join. What we're doing at recreation is just making sure that they get their basics down. That is it. Making sure that kid can at least recognize what he's doing at a play. Baseball tends to be a little bit challenging keeping the interest of some of the younger kids. So we try to make it as fun as we can, make it as engaging as we can, especially when we're dealing with like the T-ball level and things like that. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions? No? All right. Thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. Again, remember that the next meeting is March 31st. Information will be sent out before that meeting. Have a good one. Stay warm. Hopefully you guys are out of that snow already. If not, good luck. It's getting colder.